am so excited to film this video for you guys today. This one is for the people who have been overweight their whole life. And if not your whole life, a good chunk, a good portion of your life. I'm not talking to the folks that gain, 5 to 10 pounds around the holiday and can easily drop them like within the next few weeks. I am talking to the people who have spent a season of struggle and not feeling comfortable in their skin. I grew up overweight, and when I say grew up overweight, I'm talking like 10 years old. I was always considered the fat kid, the big one, the chubby one. Oh, she's cute. She just needs to lose weight. Like, that is not a way that you want to have to spend a good portion of your life. And let me just tell you this. Being overweight for a season versus being overweight your whole life is totally different. So today I want to give you guys real habits that help me lose 70 pounds and actually keep it off. And I'm not talking, the cookie cutter Pinterest board advice. I'm not talking the gym bro advice. I am talking lived experience advice. Because honestly, the real flex isn't just losing weight. The real flex is keeping it off. If you've ever struggled with weight and you're tired of taking advice from people who've never been truly big a day in their life, then this video is for you. So let's get into it. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sierra, and here on my channel, we're all about creating a life you love. So with that being said, we're gonna hop into today's video. So as you can tell by the title, we are talking weight loss habits that actually stick. I have been overweight for a majority of my life. Like literally, I'm 30 and this is the first time I've ever been fit, skinny, whatever you wanna call it. But I know that I look good and I feel good in my skin. So that's a big flex for me. And honestly, the bigger flex is I've been able to keep this weight loss off for a year at this point. So I want to give you guys a few habits that have helped and a few habits that are actually going to stick. Okay, so let's just talk growing up overweight. Personally, from my story, I have been overweight as long as I can remember. I'm just going to say 10 to throw a number out there, but it's honestly a terrible kind of feeling because I feel like I grew up in a space to where I was always constantly hiding myself from the attention, because just being bigger, it naturally drew attention to you. People naturally had, nasty things to say about you. And I truly can't understand the concept of why children are so mean and why people bully each other for weight. Like, it is such a mean and damaging thing to do to somebody, and it takes years to rewire your brain around stuff like that. So honestly, I've always felt like I've come from a place to where I am uncomfortable in my body. And when I say that, like, for a long time, I'm literally 30. And this is the first time in my life to where I just felt like amazing. I felt comfortable in my skin. I felt okay to wear cute outfits and not feel like I'm making this huge statement. Like, I just simply feel great and amazing. And it's honestly helped the confidence. It's helped me show up better in rooms. It's helped me just really move closer towards the goals that I want because I feel so freaking great. I honestly grew up with a mindset of I'm always going to be on a diet. And it was like, if you feel like you're always going to be on a diet, it messes with your mindset, and it kind of puts you in like a jail, because if you're always on a diet, you truly are never going to be free. But I just want to be real with you guys. I've tried it all. I've tried excessive cardio. I've tried the just eat less. I've tried all of the diets you can imagine. I've done keto. I've done pescatarian. I've done vegetarian. I've tried to be vegan. Like, I've tried it all, but none of those things kind of stick when you have a certain kind of mindset and things that you need to rewire about yourself when it comes to the weight loss journey. So let me just tell you what didn't work. What didn't work was the restrictive diets. When you are so restrictive, it is so easy to rebound and go back into like a crazy binger. I'm not gonna lie, I had a binge eating problem. You would go weeks and you're like, okay, I'm doing this diet thing. And it's like, all right, I only lost 5 pounds. Like, what the heck is 5 pounds? Or you may not lose any weight at all. And that causes a whole nother deal of discouragement. And you're just like, fuck it. If I'm not going to lose weight, I'm not going to starve. Like, I'm just going to go back to what I was doing anyway. I'm just going to learn to be comfortable in this body. Like, I'm just going to learn, like, it is what it is. I've been this way my whole life. And it doesn't have to be like that. So you have to work away from the restrictive diets. Another thing I would say that does not work is those long, excessive gym sessions. I'm a person who used to work out So my Apple Watch said about 1,000 calories. Sometimes that was twice a day. Sometimes it was 2 hours in one sitting. Like, I was obsessed with seeing a certain number on my Apple Watch. I was obsessed with being drenched with sweat and feeling like I had put my all and my energy into a workout. And when I say excessive, I would be doing this almost every single day a week. And the thing about having these excessive gym schedules and workouts is like, honestly, it might not be sustainable. I was able to do it for a while, but I feel like once I actually started to lose weight and the scale started to go down, it was harder to reach that 1,000 calorie on my Apple Watch. So I had to learn at this point, all right, it worked to get those first few pounds off, but I got to pivot because this takes too much time. For one, it takes too much energy, and I have to be creative about actually how I'm going to burn these calories, because I don't have to freaking burn myself out to burn calories, because in all actuality, your body burns calories just from you sitting there. So you don't have to go like as hard as you think you do. You just got to reframe your mind in the way you think about how you burn those calories. Another thing that does not work is having an all or nothing attitude. Having an all or nothing attitude is seeing things black and white. It's either you're doing it or you're not. But honestly, if you do it that way, if you have this all or nothing attitude, that kind of will keep you in a cycle of failure, because the moment that you're not doing something right, you're doing something wrong and you're labeling yourself. And even if you don't think that you're affecting yourself internally and subconsciously, you're telling yourself that you're a failure because you can't stick to this. I can't stick to the workouts. I can't stick to the diet. And it's like, you cannot have that all or nothing attitude when it comes to weight loss. And I'm telling you this from experience, who have done all of these things. I feel like once I got to the point to where I stopped chasing it, like stopped chasing, oh, I just want to be skinny, and started focusing on systems that help me win, that was a game changer for me. Okay, so we've gone through all of the things and the common things that you hear as far as like weight loss advice, like things that people are doing to drop weight. Like, we've heard what doesn't work. So let's hop into what does work. So first, let's just talk finding balance with eating. I think the best way to find balance with eating is to be simple and not be super restrictive. I think something that really helped me in the beginning was creating these sort of like snack plates where you load them up on volume food that's low calorie, and that way you are getting in whatever micronutrients you need, and you're also filling yourself up. So that way you're getting all of your good stuff on these snack plates. And when I say snack plates, think like adult Lunchables. Like, you can either do like some chicken strips, like grilled chicken strips. You can also do, maybe some boiled eggs. You can do carrots. You can do peppers. You can do hummus, like things like that, piece of cheese. So think low calorie, like fruits and vegetables that you can add on there with a few proteins. I think that those are game changers. Like, think adult Lunchables, like I said. Another habit that actually works is drinking a little bit of tea before bed. And this helps you create some sort of like ritual and wind down. It's like the cutoff point to where it's like, okay, we're not eating anymore tonight. I don't know about y'all, but like, have you ever woken up in the middle of the night and you're just like wanting to eat, or it's like close to bedtime and all of a sudden you're hungry? I think adding that tea helps teach your body like, all right, it's time to wind down. And maybe you have to pair this tea with something else to really make it ritualistic to make it a ritual. Maybe have your tea and then take a bath, have your tea and journal, have your tea and listen to like some lo-fi music. Like, really create a ritual around this bedtime cutoff for yourself. And some tea that I usually do at nighttime, this may not be your cup of tea, but this is a tea that I have to drink. Sometimes I'll do like a detox tea, which is like dandelion root tea, and it detoxes your liver. I'm a person who does occasionally have alcohol, so I think it's good to constantly, detox your liver. So I'll mix a detox tea, I'll mix a dandelion root tea with a smooth move tea. And if you know what smooth move is, it is to help with occasional constipation. I am not a regular girly. I know, TMI. But those are the kind of teas that I do at night. Some people do like peppermint tea. Some people... It's a fly in here. Some people do like chamomile teas to really help them calm down. So, figure out what tea works for you. And maybe if it's not tea, maybe you do like a hot water with some lemon. Like, really create some sort of like ritual for yourself at night to know like, all right, we're done with the food, but we can feel ourselves with this hot tea. And I think another habit to think about is how you talk about food. I think we have to get into the habit of there's no good food versus bad food. And that actually really helped me. I got to a place to where I did not call foods bad. I called foods fun foods. And when I say fun foods, I'm talking like, Cane's or pizza or Starbucks or whatever, fast food kind of situation, processed food kind of situation. So those aren't considered bad because they are okay when you have them in moderation. But I think the biggest mistake that people make is they don't realize what moderation is. Like, I feel like you'll see online how people will do these what I eat in a days, and they'll have Chick-fil-A in their lineup a few times a week. That kind of moderation, that's not what it looked like for me. I didn't necessarily have the real willpower to do that. Sure, I may get the grilled nuggets with the kale salad, but I also was getting a fry on the side. And like, realistically, the more stuff that you have outside of your home, those calories add up way quicker because you don't even know what other things are going into these meals. You don't know what additives they have that may bloat you up. You don't know what kind of oils that they're putting in it, which adds a ton of calories within itself. A tablespoon of oil is like 100 calories. So you have to be mindful about like foods, processed foods, fast foods, because those calories add up much faster. And when I say have it in balance, I think it's okay to have the fun foods, but I think something that was easy and helpful for me is have those fun foods outside of the house. Have those fun foods a smaller portion and very limited. If we want, a scoop of ice cream, we're going to go to Dairy Queen or Baskin Robbins and get a scoop of ice cream and have it at the ice cream place. Don't bring a gallon of ice cream into your house. Don't bring a pint of ice cream into your house because you're not setting yourself up for success. I said the moment I stopped chasing skinny and started focusing on systems to help me win is when I started to see the change. I stopped having this all or nothing attitude when it came to food and started really realizing that there's no good food and there's no bad food. Sure, there is food that is going to nourish you and help you feel great, but there's also an appropriate time for you to have fun foods, and you should not deprive yourself of not having fun foods. You just got to be mindful and figure out what your moderation is. Okay, so let's just talk movement. And I just want to tell you this right now. Movement is a non-negotiable, but let's be realistic about it. We all have different schedules. We all have different lives. Everybody cannot go to the gym every single day of the week. Everybody cannot go to a 6 a.m. class. Everybody cannot go to a 7 p.m. class. You have to figure out what is realistic for you. And maybe that is getting some sort of subscription like ClassPass to where you can go to different classes because you don't want to go to a gym because the gym seems too rigid, or you don't know what you want to do. So find classes to do. If you don't have the money for ClassPass or even want to go to the gym, you can get on YouTube.com because guess what? YouTube is free. You can find workouts to do in your home. You can get a walking pad if you don't want to walk outside. Guess what? Walking is so powerful. Get outside and walk. If you can't walk outside because it's cold where you are, and I can attest to this, I did not really walk when I lived in Michigan. But when I moved to Texas, I started to have a lot more movement just because of the weather. And I used to walk outside a lot. When people say get your 10K steps, get your 10K steps. But I also want to let you guys know that 10K steps is just like a general number of healthy steps. But if you're overweight, you might need to do more than 10K steps. And I think it's important that you know that you might need a little bit more movement. I am a person who's 5'2" I need a lot more movement than a person who's taller. My calorie expenditure is much shorter, so I have to move my body more to burn more calories. And that doesn't mean I have to do 2-hour gym sessions. I figured that out and I stopped burning myself out, and I actually could start to enjoy life. Because if I'm spending 2 hours in the gym, what is that doing for my life besides making me tired? Sure, it's burning calories, but you can burn calories doing something else. You can burn calories going on a walk. You can burn calories dancing. You can burn calories just moving around your house. People who live sedentary lives or have desk jobs, like when I'm in the office, if I got a free second, I am walking laps in that building, and I have this cool little fitness ring that shows me my steps for the day and encourages me okay, you got a great amount of movement today. I like to see numbers. I know sometimes people can think numbers aren't a healthy way to look at things, but numbers help keep me motivated specifically. And that kind of leads me into my next thing, and that is track your progress. I know so many people are afraid of the scale, but baby, get the scale. Just get a scale that tells you a little bit more information. I ended up getting this scale that let me know my body fat percentage, what my water was at, what my muscle mass was. Because sometimes like that weight fluctuates. But if you get on the scale, you can know like, okay, my body fat percentage is down, but my weight is up. Okay, maybe I'm retaining water. It's good to see the big picture when it comes to looking at the number on the scale. And another thing about looking at the number on the scale, you don't have to weigh yourself every day, but you should weigh yourself at least maybe once a week or twice a week, just so you can keep yourself in check. Because sometimes you go on a little spree of life and you just forget all about the scale. You're afraid to even get back on the scale. And that is the biggest thing. It's just like, just get on the scale so that can help remind you like, oh, let me get back to my regular scheduled program. Like that is the most important. And aside from like tracking your progress through the scale, another thing to do is like, take pictures. Always take progress pictures. I'm a person who was hiding from the camera for a very long time, but progress pictures are very powerful. I ended up I took a picture at the beginning of 2024, like January 2024, and I hadn't taken any more progress pics. And then I think around the time like September, so 9 months later, people were just saying, I'm sorry, it's a fly in here. People were just saying like, oh my God, you're getting so small. And I was just like, am I? I mean, I knew I was because the number on the scale had went down, but like I still didn't feel it. Like I'm a person who kind of deals with body dysmorphia. And even still to this day, I went from 194 pounds and I weigh anywhere between 125 and 130. Like I still myself struggle with body dysmorphia. Taking those progress pics can help you visually see it. So like I said, I took a picture in January and then I ended up taking my next picture 9 months later. Like just imagine if I was taking those pics like every month, like at least every month or every week, you can gradually see your body go down. But I saw like a drastic jump because I literally didn't take any progress pics. Another thing that can be a good measure for success is tracking how your clothes are fitting, or if you have something that you want to fit into, like make that be your goal. I was a person, I kind of wore my clothes till they were at the point of falling off. I didn't buy many in between size clothing. And I think that's because like I technically feel like I was always like large medium, even though I probably shouldn't have been wearing a medium. That was able to sustain me for a long time before I got to size small. And now even a size small is too big for me, which is crazy to even think about. And this is the last thing that I'm going to hit on when it comes to tracking your progress. Think of progress pictures, the scale, how your clothes fit. Think of those as a moment of awareness, not a moment for punishment. Really take that time to really check in with yourself. Okay, so let's talk a few big mindset shifts that have to happen in order for you to really see success on this journey. And the first thing that I'm going to hit on is food noise. And food noise is like, honestly, if you're a person who constantly thinks about food, constantly thinks about your next meal, like, I don't know about y'all, but like I would have breakfast and then already be thinking about, oh, what am I having for lunch? Oh, or what are we doing for dinner? And I think that's common in the American like culture. Like it's always surrounded by food. Everything is surrounded by food. What are we eating? What are we eating? Even if you're having like team meetings, oh, what are we bringing to the team meeting? Like it's always food, 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 food. But you have to realize life is bigger than food. Food is literally just fuel for you to have energy. And I understand food is great and it's good and it's yummy. But as a person who was overweight her whole life, I think I had enough food to know that food is awesome. And if I really want something good, I can have it, but I don't have to have it every day. And you don't have to think about food as always being like this grand thing. And even if you're doing like a diet food does not have to be like nasty. Getting healthy does not mean bland life. Like you just have to add more like variety and color into your life to truly have a full palette of just like healthy meal options. Another thing is to consider is to figure out what kind of eater are you. I'm a person who, I would say I'm an emotional eater, but I also am a person who's like an emotional workouter. I don't know if that's a word, but Like when I deal with emotions or frustration, sometimes I would just binge out and then I would go get on the Stairmaster. That's not helpful in itself. Just because you ate all of this food and then you go work out for 2 hours, you're not going to burn everything off in those 2 hours. Like, as easy as it is for you to take in those calories, it's not as easy to burn those calories. So always keep that in mind. So are you an emotional eater like me? Are you a stress eater? Are you a bored eater? I'm a bored eater too. Like, especially like on those work from home days, I used to just be like, all right, what's next? What's next? Even at the office, like once I was like having a moment to where like my calendar was like nothing was on the calendar and I was just bored scrolling social media, I used to just go to the caf, like, oh, what kind of snacks do they have in here? What are we having for lunch? Like, I would go to the caf at least 3 times a day at work. And I know that's sad to say. But something that I replaced that with was walking laps in the building. Every time I get bored at work or I have a free second at work, I'm walking laps. Like, I'm not exaggerating to you guys in the slightest. I move my body at work when I am bored, when I don't have anything to do. I am moving my body. And even if on a work from home day, if I don't have anything to do, I have a walking pad. I can go walk outside. Like, just do something else. Kind of to distract yourself from the food noise. If you're a person who's emotional, like figure out how you can get your emotions in order and how to not grab food as your first sign of like soothing yourself. Figure out a different way to soothe yourself. So figure out what's the cause of your food noise and how to really combat it. And for myself, I feel like I was an emotional eater, a bored eater, and a binge eater. So I know for sure easy one to take off the list is that bored eating. Just fill your day and your life with other things to do. If you're so busy, you're not even going to think about eating. I know y'all see people who are like, oh my God, I was so busy today, I forgot to eat lunch. I used to be a person, I'm sorry, it is a fly in here. I used to be a person who would be like, I don't know how people forget to eat. Like, I always think about eating, but you got to change who you are in this journey. Like, you truly have to change who you are, everything you know, to kind of combat that. And I said this before, but you really have to get to a place where you stop labeling food as bad, because food is not bad. Like I said before, food is fuel. So think of it as a fun, like it's just a fun thing. But the thing about having fun time and fun foods is just get back to your regular scheduled program. I preach that here on my channel. Guess what? If me and John go get pizza for dinner, guess what? I'm not going to cry about it all night. I'm not going to think about it all night. I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to wake up the next day and I'm going to have my water and I'm going to go to the gym and then I'm going to have my Greek yogurt or eggs and turkey bacon the next day and just get back to my regular scheduled program. I'm not going to dwell in the, oh, I ate something bad. No, I had fun last night. And guess what? It's time to get back to the regular scheduled program. That is the thing about having habits that stick. Just get back to your regular scheduled program. Don't stay in the mistake too long and don't even label it as a mistake. You had fun, but you don't have to have fun every day, every meal, every like waking hour of the day. Like that is how you kind of have to think about it. And I don't want you guys to think that I lost 70 pounds with just willpower, like all by myself. Like I literally, like I said, had to create systems to set myself up for success. If we would go out to eat, I would not bring my to-go container home. I would throw my to-go container away. If I know I don't have the discipline to have those things around, I got rid of it. I was a person that had a takeout box. As soon as I was home, I was eating my leftovers. I stopped buying tortilla chips because I would go through a family-sized bag of tortillas, chips in one sitting, like in one day. Even to this day, like we had tortilla soup last week. Those chips didn't stand a day in my house. I'm a like bored eater and Jonathan's a bored eater. So I try not to have that stuff in my house because it'll be gone quick. And guess what? You consumed all of those calories that it's probably going to take you all week to burn off. So just don't have it in your house. Or if you are going to have stuff like that in your house, have it like pre-packaged in smaller servings, and you really got to have the discipline to only have one serving of it. Okay, so I just want to invite you guys to the group message really quick right here. There is no finish line to maintenance. Maintenance is a lifestyle. So there is no finish line to this weight loss thing. So it's like, okay, sis, you're 125 pounds, But I have built up the systems, I have built up the habits to stay in this place. And that is how you have to think about your weight loss journey. It is a lifestyle. I know that's a cliche like saying and term, but in actuality, that is truly what it is, a lifestyle. And you have to learn to be in that lifestyle to really maintain the goals that you're trying to achieve. I want you guys to link some of these new habits that I gave you guys today. Take them on as your new identity. When you are on a weight loss journey, you have to become a new person. You have to have a new way that you live life. And that's not a bad thing. Like, it's not a bad thing at all. You have to change the things that you're doing to see change in your life. So just even for like rewiring with my brain and my new lifestyle, I am no longer the big kid trying to lose weight. I am no longer the person who feels like they will never lose weight. I am now the woman, the 30-year-old woman, just simply taking care of her body. And that is something that I stand for. Fall in love with taking care of your body. Fall in love with putting the best things in your body. Fall in love with treating yourself the best. Fall in love with moving your body. Fall in love with talking to your body in a way that is beneficial to you. Like, it's all about the mindset. It's all about the new lifestyle that you have to create. So with that being said, if you enjoyed this video, let me know down in the comments below so I can create more content like this for you guys. And if you're on a weight loss journey, just know you have to create a new lifestyle. You have to become a new person, new habits, new forms of discipline to really get this done. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.